Hey there everyone and welcome back. We're continuing our playthrough of Space Quest 1. Where we left off is we just dispatched Orat and we also dispatched the Spider Droid in one hit. And now we need to traverse our way back to the cavern to find the holographic guy to see if he'll give us some transportation out of here. So we've just got to wander back and up this ramp thing. This is one part of the game and it's sort of a common aspect of a lot of Sierra games. There is a bit of repetition going over the same path a few times. In this case, it is also very typical Sierra that you can only go over this path, I think 3 or 4 times maximum before this little bridge up here is going to break. So as we walk around the corner, we're going to see... Here we have, this little bridge. You can see the cracks in it are getting bigger and bigger every time we walk over it. I think once more and that's actually going to collapse. So just for fun, let's just save the game. And that little text box that popped up I shouldn't have hit enter on was basically just saying your thirst is starting to get pretty great. Ooh, okay. So you can see that's now started to subside. And, ooh, there we go. You have travelled a long way only to die carelessly by stepping to your death. What a clod. Classic. Okay, so let's restore it back. And as I said, I accidentally hit enter through a little box that basically was informing us we're getting thirsty. So at this point, let's open up survival kit, and we can see we've got a Xenon army knife and a can of dehydrated water. Drink water. You place your lips to the nozzle and draw. A fluid, not a very reasonable facsimile of water, is released slowly. While tasting slightly terrible, it quenches your thirst at least for the time being. So yeah, if we'd used the dehydrated water to get rid of Orat, we still would have got away with this because you get about maybe 5 minutes before your thirst becomes so bad it kills you. But it's kind of cool. We got to hold on to the water so we can use it to drink. So we're just going to keep wandering back. You can also fall off this cliff thing if you're not careful, and pretty sure it kills you in this game. Maybe there's a slight chance you'll kind of fall and it'll say, hey, you shouldn't have done that, and you can get up and walk away, but we're not going to test that out today. It's back to this weird arch looking thing. Down the hole. And back through this weird looking cave. I always quite enjoyed the AGI graphics, like these really blocky graphics on these early games. It gave you a bit of a feel of, like, I guess realism's the wrong word, but back then it definitely gave you a feel of realism. Oh, hang on, actually walk through the door would help. Past the acid pool. And back through this little tunnel thing. At least we don't have to worry about frying the laser beams or anything the second time. You can just kind of walk through. And I'm pretty sure, although I will check it in a second, our dialect translator is still turned on. Okay, so back to the acid drips. Even though they're not too bad, I'll probably still save it here. Go for it. No problem. so we'll just check our inventory, and we can see we still have the gadget. Turn on gadget. It's already turned on, so that's great. So let's wander into the cave. Again, the massive holographic image appears before you. So you have returned. Fortunately, there is more to you than meets the eye. Drop before me your proof of Orat's defeat for my inspection. Drop Orat part. You drop the Orat part to the ground. The vision is silent. You are startled by a rumbling, and suddenly an oddly shaped door comes into view. It opens slowly. You hear a voice, different this time, beckoning you to step forward. Cool. So, here we go. Please don't be alarmed. We intend no harm. We're a peaceful race. We are cautious, however. Others don't share our way of life. Welcome to Kerona. You are standing in the power generation facility of our underground settlement. All power here is produced by steam. That is unimportant to you, however. We have promised you transportation. It is a skimmer. It hovers approximately half meter above the travelling surface. Oh, I guess it means the sand. This is very important because of Grell. Grell and his like dwell in the caves below the sand. If you stand on the surface too long, you chance becoming a rare moist meal for him. The skimmer is programmed to take you to a settlement on the other side of Kerona called Eulent's Flats. You can make further travel arrangements there. I am sorry this is all we can offer. I hope your trip is a safe one. Board the skimmer when you are ready to depart. Good luck, strange one. Now this skimmer was the cause of a lot of annoyance when I was younger, and it's probably going to be a lot of annoyance today. So we're going to save the game here again. Now there's a couple of things you can do. If we look around, it says this place is most interesting indeed. A mixture of both old and new technologies. On one side of the chamber is a primitive steam generator. Its pistons pounding rhythmically turn steam into useful energy. On the other side is what appears to be a computer console. So that's a little bit of a clue. So if we go look console, the console consists of a monitor and a cartridge slot. There are also some readouts which indicate the status of some of the mechanisms in here. The key word there is cartridge slot. So we got that cartridge off the Arcada, so this is not a bad place to actually have a look what's on it. Cartridge in slot. The cartridge snaps neatly into the slot and the screen comes alive. Whoever shall read this, my name is Dr. Slash Vohol. I am a scientist with the Star Generator project aboard the Starlab Arcada. We have just successfully completed development and testing of the Star Generator. During this time, I have come to believe that our progress has been monitored by others. I fear that the Sarians may have learned of our mission. If my fears prove true, the Star Generator and the people of our universe are in serious jeopardy. The Star Generator is a miraculous device. Used as intended, it will help preserve life for eons to come. Used as a device for evil, it would cause the destruction of millions of lives and enslave all those who oppose the Sarians. Encoded within this cartridge are all the plans and the specifications for the construction of the Star Generator. Should any disaster befall the Star Generator project, scientists will be able to create a duplicate of the Star Generator with this information. Please guard this with your life. Return it to the Xenon ruling body as quickly as possible. Important note, the Star Generator is capable of self-destruction. This was introduced to the system as a precaution. To activate it, one must enter the code 6858. A 5-minute timer will begin to count down. Beware, anyone within 5 kilometers of the Star Generator will be in danger once the timer has been initiated. Please be careful and good luck. So I think we might need that code that we just saw. So we're going to save this as 166858 code. That way we're not going to forget it. Now notice it said, please guard this with your life and return it to the Xenon ruling body. If I just walk away now and get in the skimmer, I have classically left the cartridge in the computer console. So that's another thing when you get to the end of the game and it's like, you lose a lot of points. So we need to take the cartridge and you wisely retrieve the cartridge from its slot. So we're just going to save the game again here, because chances are we are not going to make it in the skimmer the first time. Turn key. You turn the key and suddenly the jet turbines begin to whir. The skimmer begins to shake beneath you as its platform slowly moves into the launch tube. You can't help but wonder what you've gotten yourself into this time. Oh yeah, this is a bit of a painful one. As you nervously hang on, the skimmer rises slowly to the surface of the planet via a secret passage. And now we have an arcade sequence, so we have to do this in real time, which is really frustrating. Upon reaching the surface, you throttle up and zoom off into the sunset. The sediment the alien spoke of appears on the horizon, which is that tiny white dot on the center sandhill. It does get bigger as we go, but now we've got to dodge these stupid rocks. And I think we can hit 3 or 4, I can't remember. And there's also some really big ones, or maybe that's in the remake. So you kind of just got to dodge around here. You can set the speed, thump, damage report minor. You can set the speed to low, and it will kind of help, but I still feel like that's cheating. I don't know if to get a perfect score in the game whether you need to make it without any damage, but yeah, we're not going to try that, because if I can make this through today in one hit, I will be very happy. I found the trick is just to kind of keep dodging around, and I don't know if they're completely random or they're kind of aiming at you as... Oh, okay. We're at serious damage. I think we've got one more and it says critical, and then we're in trouble. Whoa, okay. Situation, yep, okay. And we've been ejected. Had you eaten a few less donuts during the mission, you might have cleared that rock, Roger Wilco. Classic. Okay. Let's try this again. Get in the skimmer. Turn the key. So yeah, I remember as a kid having to do this many times before I'd get to Ulan's Flats. And it looks like nothing has changed. So let's give this one more try. If this doesn't work, I'm going to time-lapse through this, because you're going to get bored of hearing me just talk about how annoying the skimmer puzzle is, or the skimmer arcade sequence. There is a remake of Space Quest 1 that Sierra did, I think, in the early 90s. They upgraded it basically to VGA and redid all the graphics. The gameplay and the storyline is pretty much identical. The puzzles didn't change much. But one thing they did do, which was nice, was they made this optional, and you could basically skip it. And I think you did lose some points, but it was worth it, 100%. The other thing they did in the remake, which we're going to come across when we get to Ulan's Flats, is we need to basically raise ourselves some money so we can get out of here, because we've got basically no money at all. And to do that, we sell the skimmer, which is easy, but we also need to play a slot machine, which is called the Slot of Death, which you can probably guess where that's going. But again, in this one, it takes forever. And, oh, there we go. Woo! That was pretty intense. You've managed to successfully navigate through the treacherous boulder field, and you're quite relieved to see that you've reached the settlement. So yeah, that's one of 2 really annoying things that we have to do in this game. But after a truly stone-crushing journey, you have miraculously arrived safely in Ulan's Flats. And just in time too, because the skimmer's power cell has been drained. it will take some time to recharge itself. This place isn't quite what you had expected. It's semi-bleak at best. So I think this is a bit of a takeoff of Star Wars of, I don't know what the planet is, but one of those kind of backwater planets where, you know, it's pretty rough. It's really seedy. There's not a lot going on except a bar, really. But now, we have to be a bit careful here. So look, console. So the panel has an ignition switch and there is a key in it. Take key. If you don't take the key, the skimmer gets stolen. Get out skimmer. If the skimmer gets stolen, you can't sell it. It's okay, we have this seedy looking character coming up with the full-on Geordie LaForge visor here. Okay, say this skimmer is a genuine fountain sound skimmer. I've been looking for one just like it. I wonder if you'll accept 30 buckazoids. Now this dude is shady as, so we say no the first time. He wanders off, and if you leave the keys in, he'll come back and steal it pretty much immediately. So if we take the first offer, we miss out on a bit of a sweetener to the deal, and he'll throw in a jetpack. And I think also a bit of a voucher for, I don't know if it's the droid factory or the bar or something. But what we're going to do, we're going to just kind of wander off the screen here a little bit. And then we'll wander back. And don't worry, we will go to Tiny's used spacecraft eventually. We just need to wait for this really seedy dude to come back. Here we go. Okay, this is my final offer, and I'm only doing it because you look like you need it pretty bad. I'll give you 30 buckazoids and I'll throw in this swell jetpack. I only used it once. Works great in zero gravity. You'll love it. Is it a deal? Yes or no? Yes, it is. This is a classic. If you don't get the jetpack, we'll get further on in the game and you'll basically get stuck and you won't be able to work out how to progress. Glad we could do business. I'll just take that key. Thank you kindly. Hope your stay in Ullets Flats is an interesting one. Yep, it sure will be. Okay, so now we've sold the skimmer. Let's just save it again. We always have to save frequently in a Sierra game. Now, I can't remember if it's in this version of Space Quest or it's in the remake, but see out here there's this pile of ash. And we'll find out where that comes from in a minute, but if we go look pile, there's a strange pile of very fine white powder here. Its origin puzzles you. It has a strange burnt smell to it. You used to be able to find a buckazoid. I thought search pile, examine pile. Okay, yeah, might be the remake. You used to be able to get a buckazoid or two out of it. So that ash pile comes from inside the bar here. And we're going to find out why in just a second. So let's head on in. Alright, so we've got some alien looking dudes playing some tunes here. And see there's a slot machine over on the right hand side and there's a guy playing it. So that's fine, we'll just keep an eye on it. Again, this is a pretty seedy place. You can see the smoke cloud kind of floating at the top. If you go in and out, there's a few different bands that play. I think there's some cultural reference here. One of them's the Blues Brothers. There's a ZZ Top. Oh, okay. So now you can notice that the dude that was playing the slot machine got zapped. And now this guy's coming along, this robot's coming along, it's sort of vacuumed him up. So that machine's called the Slot of Death. Basically, it's like a regular slot machine, except if you roll 3 skulls, it basically executes you. Oh, here we go. So, what'll it be? I've got beer and it's 2 buckazoids. Buy beer. That'll be 2 buckazoids. Thank you very much. Come again. Drink beer. The beer tastes like carbonated zipple sweat. However, considering recent events, you could learn to love it. So this is the classic having a beer at the bar scenario, where you can actually overhear people's conversation. So we just need to hang out here for a minute. And it gives us a clue on how to progress a bit later in the game. So he'll come back, buy beer, drink beer, gulp gulp. It is possible to get drunk from what I remember. You have to drink a heck of a lot of beers. Maybe let's just save it here and we'll see if it's even possible. 19. But yeah, you'll overhear a clue in just a second. Once he comes back, buy a beer, drink beer. As you sip another of the odd brews, you overhear someone at the bar speaking. There I was cruising through Sector HH when I spot a blip on the scanner. So I head towards it, you see, and right there in front of me sits the Deltor. It's just sitting there. My heart starts hyperwarping on me. I figure my milliseconds are numbered. All I can think of doing is getting my craft out of there. So I'm reaching for the throttle. All of a sudden there's this incredible flash of light, you see. And just like that, this little planetoid explodes into a ball of fire. I tell you, I've never seen anything like it. I mauled the throttle and got out of there quick, you bet. Okay. So, Sector HH. So Sector HH is where obviously the guy's seen the ship. The planetoid bursting into flames, remember what it said about the star generator? It was designed to turn a lifeless planet into basically a ball of fire and a new sun. So it sounds like that might be where the star generators ended up. Let's just buy another beer. And we'll drink the beer. You feel a strange tingling sensation. The taste of the beer doesn't seem to be bothering you so much now. Hee hee. Can I kind of walk around? Yep, still can. Let's buy another one and see what happens just for fun. But I'm pretty sure I don't know if you start staggering around or it kills you or something. We're going to find out. The trick is you don't need to buy any more than just getting the coordinates. Oh my, you're starting to feel unstable. Uh-oh. Classic. We're doing like a shimmy. I'm not touching the keys. I guess we're just dancing around the room. I'm not feeling so wonderful. A full-on drunk voice. Yeah, I got no control. I know there's a door here somewhere. Please stop moving the bar. Oh, this is classic. I'd forgotten about this. I wonder if this is just going to keep going on and on, or it'll actually just kind of time out here in a second. Yeah, the arrow keys don't really do anything. I think this is kind of like... No, still responds. Okay, so this is a seedy little place. Galactic riffraff is seated at the bar. The bartender drops by occasionally to serve them. A band is cranking out some of the more popular tunes in the quadrant. There's a slot machine standing near the bar. You notice a sweeper in the lower corner of the room. It must get messy in here. No one seems to notice or care that you have entered the bar. So I'm not sure if this drunkenness will kind of wear off. Maybe it will. Oh, I can buy another beer. Classic. Not sure if this will make it worse or not. I don't think so. Okay. Let's just restore it. So that's kind of fun. Alright, so at this point, we've got cartridge, jetpack, blah blah blah, buckazoids, and all of the above. I had this feeling we got a voucher or a coupon. Ah, okay. For more information, refer to the coupons enclosed in the package. So in the original package, and I do remember this from when Dad bought this game years ago, there were 2 coupons, and they're actually part of your inventory, but we don't actually see them. One is for a free beer. So we might as well use it. And the other coupon was for Droids Be Us for, I think it was like a 5% discount. So give coupon. And we get 5 Bikazoids and a free beer. Sweet. Drink beer. Okay, so we've had enough that we're not drunk, but it's starting to warn us. So let's save this game again. We've used our coupon, which is kind of cool. And now the bit that I've been dreading. Alright, so the slot of death machine. So you can see on here, you know, we've got various things. So you got the cherry, 1 wins 1 Bikazoid, 2 wins 3, 3 wins 5, 3 diamonds wins 20, 3 eyeballs wins 10, and 3 skulls is death. Basically, we have to keep playing this game until we get about 250 Bikazoids or so. The trick is we can't basically stop until the machine blows up, and it basically says something like, "Oh dear, you've overheated this," you know, whatever. I think it then says this is property of Gibberzoid Novelty Company, and you know, so on and so forth. But we'll see that later. The idea is we're going to play this until we basically blow the machine up. So, luckily we can save and restore in this. And we're just going to keep playing until we get the maximum. So, we're going to bet $3 every single time. And then if we make some money, which we did, we're going to save it. And if we lose money after a few, we're going to restore it. And if we only win $3 at a time, you can see we're back to 29 because we bet 3. So it's not really worth it saving it at that point. At this point we're going to lose. I usually only restore it if we lose substantially. So again, losing 2 is kind of too many. And I'm just going to time lapse through this because this is going to be boring and it's probably going to take me about 20 minutes. So enjoy the time lapse. Wow, so there was 20 minutes of my life I'm not going to get back. So eventually you can see there was a lot of save, restore, save, restore, save, restore, keep trying, keep trying. And this is why playing slot machines is generally a bad idea if you want to make money, because they are very much geared to taking it. Anyway, so we've finally got there and we've got to 250 Bikazoids. And now, sorry, there seems to be a circuit failure. To be reimbursed, send claim to Gibberzoid Novelties, 2001 Odessa Blastway Guerneville, Fedor Exel Galaxy. Please allow 2 decades for delivery. Alright, so now that's done. And again, this is the most frustrating part about this game. That literally was 20 minutes of just save and restore and hitting the F8 key. So let's save as Matthew 20 after machine. Let's progress our quest here. So again, we've got some sort of band going on. Not sure if it's supposed to be ZZ Top or not, but kind of sounds like it. Alright, so the whole idea of that was just to get money. Now, if we wander back this way, to the right is Droids Be Us, but just a fun little thing I came across years ago is if we walk sort of half behind here so we can just see our head and type take leak. Drat, you could have done without that sudden gust of wind. You beam with pride having just written your name in the sand. So yeah, that's kind of funny. Don't really gain any points for it, but they've just added that in for a bit of comedic value. Now over here we have Droids Be Us. We have a voucher for this, but at the moment we don't really need a droid or know what droid to buy, so we're just going to ignore that. But we do need to get a spaceship so we can get off of this planet. So earlier we kind of wandered onto the screen and we saw there was a Tiny's used spaceships. So this is probably not a bad place to start looking. So what we're going to do, let's have a chat to this dude Tiny. Howdy bucko, can I interest you in one of the finest little used spaceships in the galaxy? You look like a man of discerning taste. Well, this dude is a full-on used car salesman. So he kind of just follows us around really annoyingly like a used car salesman. So we go over to this ship over here. He'll kind of wander over. Don't let appearances fool you. This baby may be a relic, a classic, but she's as dependable as the day we got her. And just think, you'll be the only one in the quadrant, I guarantee it. Yeah, because it's an absolute piece of crap. She's a beaut, isn't she? This little baby can do a spin around the planet in just under an hour. Look at the lines in that bodywork. They just don't make them like they used to anymore. Or they make them like this anymore? Same thing. You know what I mean? And she's a real bargain at 180 and a 5 buckazoids. Let's save the game here. And we can afford it. We got 250 buckazoids. Pay man. Buy ship. I tell you, I think you've made a wise decision. She's a beauty. The keys are in her. If you have any problems, don't hesitate to come back and tell us about them. It's been a heck of a pleasure doing business with you. Well, good luck. Come again. You shell out the buckazoids and hop in. Anxiously, you fire it up and lift off. And... okay. Darn the luck, Roger Wilco. You've crashed in the dunes and ended your life. The various inhabitants of the Keronian desert are now feasting on what remains of you. Guess that wasn't such a hot purchase. Classic. Alright, so let's restore. And let's try this. What looks like a drill, more than a ship, with a pointy end down. Well, this is quite a unique little unit. Never been flown over Mach 3. It was owned by a little old lady from Glanstrom. You have to fly it to believe it, and she's been yours for only 99 buckazoids. Again, quite a bargain. Let's buy this ship. I tell you, I think you made a wise decision. So you can see where this is probably going to go. You proudly climb into your new used spacecraft. There is definitely something unique about it. You turn the key excitedly. And we've just bored a hole down into the ground. We climb out. Well, geez, guy, it seems it's developed some minor malfunction since we acquired it. We did have a small micrometeorite shower the other day. Maybe that was it. Yeah, that was probably it. Much as I'd like to, I can't refund your money. Company policy, it's out of my hands. However, I can give you 70 buckazoids credit on any other ship in our fine line of used spacecraft. Look around and see what you like. Well, that's almost what we paid for it. I think we paid 80 or 90 buckazoids, so we'll just restore it here, I think, and keep on looking. So you can see this spacecraft in the distance. We kind of wander up here. Let's see what this one's all about. Well, there's a man with a good eye. This here is the keenest little scrambler in the hemisphere. Top of the line, handles like a charm. Perfect for cruising the asteroid fields. And she's got all the thrust a guy could need, I tell you. She's an outright steal at 214 buckazoids, so we can afford it. Look, ship. This is actually not a bad looking ship. It appears to be a Dralian model cruiser. They have a reputation for quickness and reliability. You're surprised that someone, or something, of Tiny's caliber would be carrying it. So there's a bit of a clue as to what's going to happen later, but let's buy this ship. I tell you, I think you made a wise decision. She's a beauty. Keys are in her. And let's see if we can fly this bad boy. Climb ladder. Look console. Looking at the inside of the ship, you notice there are no controls here, just a button marked load. Tiny must have been serious when he said you need a droid to fly it. So this is kind of like Star Wars, where you have, what is it, the R2-D2 dude and Skywalker piloting the ship. So you need to find yourself a droid. Luckily, we have droids be us next door. So let's go for a wander in this general direction. Luckily no one steals the ship if you just kind of leave it parked there. So let's head in.